Hi guys, so today we're checking out the Anaglo illuminated door sill plates fitting all 2005 and newer double cab Toyota Tacomas. So if you're looking for some unique styling and some protection to your door sill area, these are going to be a great choice to take a look into. Now these door sill plates will do a really good job at protecting the door sill area and the paint on your door sill area from any damage from you getting in and out of the truck. And they're going to do a really good job at covering up any existing imperfections. But what these are really going to do and what really make these unique is the lighting that is going to actuate as soon as you open your door. So whenever you open your door, whether it's you or your passengers, these door sill plates are going to illuminate and provide some extra lighting for your footing when you're getting in and out of the truck, while also giving you some very unique and modernized styling. Now these will incorporate a strip of 40 micro LEDs that are going to have a very fiber optic and modernized look to it. And as you can see, they will have a pulsing effect, which will again add some more styling and more modernized of a feel to your cab area. Now these are also going to be actuated by smart sensors, so these will have a battery box that will power them up, but there is going to be a smart sensor in each of the door sill plates, and there's going to be a magnet that you can install on the bottom of your door, so when you close up your door, these won't be on, and then of course when you open it back up, they will illuminate. Now the battery box is going to make sure that these are completely plug and play. There's no additional wiring or splicing that you have to do inside your cab area, so you really don't have to do a lot as far as installation goes. So if you're looking for something that's easy, but you're also looking for something that's very unique, these are a great choice. Now these will also be very durable, made of an acrylic material with a stainless steel plate on top. So you are getting that luxury look, but you also are getting a lot of protection for that door sill area in the meantime. Now with that being said, these are going to come in at roughly $200. And in my personal opinion, I think for the quality and the functionality of these door sill plates, that's a good price. Now door sill guards or door sill plates are usually going to be a pretty inexpensive mod, but when it comes to something like this that is going to have a lot of functionality out of such a small mod, again, I think it's worth it. Now when comparing it to some other choices, most other options are not going to have that lighting, and a lot of other choices are usually just going to be made of a plastic material instead of a stainless steel and acrylic material like this one. Now overall, for the quality and the construction and the functionality of the door sill plate itself, I think if you're looking for something unique as far as a modification for your Tacoma goes, and you're also looking for something that's tough but functional, this is going to be right up your alley. Now when it comes to install, like I said, this is going to be incredibly easy. This is a completely plug and play install. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you roughly 20 minutes. Now I would like to mention that this will require 6 9-volt batteries in order to power up the door sill plates, but they are very inexpensive and very easily accessible really at any major store that you go to. So speaking of that install, let's jump into that now. The tools that I used for my install were an alcohol prep pad and a soft pry tool. So to kick off our install, I'm going to start in the front, and we just want to make sure for this first step that the door sill area is completely clean before we adhere our door sill guard to it. Now I'm going to use an alcohol prep pad, but you can use any cleaning solution that you'd like, just to make sure that everything is off the door sill area and nothing's going to mess with the adhesion process. What we can do at this point is take our front door sill guard, we can flip it over, and we can start to peel the backing off the 3M tape. After that backing's off, making sure that the wire is facing in, what we're going to do is line this up with our door sill wherever we want it to be placed. And we're just going to give it a good press. Now that that's on there, what we can do is tuck this wire and plug in our wire that's going to go to our control box. But we need to take off this trim in order to hide it. So I'm just going to use a soft pry tool. I'm just going to pry up on this trim here. Pop that off. So what we can do now is pull up on this seal here This is just gonna have a little channel that it sits in. We're just gonna tuck that underneath just so that's hidden. Again, push that back down. Then what we can do is take our short wire, because we're going to be tucking the control box underneath the front seat, we can plug that in. After we hear a click, we can re-tuck our wire. And we can reinstall our trim here just by giving it a good press. And then we can repeat this same process for the back. So in the back, we're just gonna repeat that same process. You can actually do this first if you'd like to take off the trim and tuck the wire before you actually place it down. You can do that as well. So I'm going to use this soft pry tool just to pull on the middle trim piece here and kind of pull it away, because I want to tuck the wire into that and run it up towards the front. So essentially what I want to do is just pass this wire through up to the front and line it up with the other wire. So I'm going to take this, making sure that it is out of the way of our seatbelt assembly, and we're just going to pass that up towards the front. You might have to adjust the seat a little bit. So if you already installed this trim, I would recommend to just pop it off again, just so we can make sure that this is routing correctly with our wire that's already up front. I'm gonna pass this through. Making sure that's out of the way. It's running with other wires, so it should be just fine. And we can kind of line it up with our front wire, tuck that where that is going to be. And what you can even do is tuck part of this wire underneath the carpet, just to clean up some of the excess wire here. And then at this point, since both of our wires are tucked, what we can do now is completely reinstall our trim. So we can just pop this and our side one back into place. So this is popped into place. We can pop in our middle one, and then we can wrap up the back one. Then we can pop our rear trim piece back on. What we can do at this point is hook up our battery box. Now, what I do like about this set of door sill guards is that you don't have to wire them in or do any additional wiring. This battery box is going to take 9-volt batteries. It's going to have 3 per box. You're going to have 1 for each side. And then it's also going to have 2 ports for the front and the rear door sill guard and an on and off switch. That makes it easy to turn them off or on whenever you'd like. And the batteries are replaceable and you really don't have to do any additional wiring. So what I'm going to do is just pop the back open. You just have to slide it up and then we can install our 9-volt batteries. Now once the batteries are installed, we can pop this cover back into place. So what I did at this point was tuck these wires underneath the seat rail. You want to make sure that it's not interfering with the actual function of the seat. So you want to make sure that the wires are underneath the actual seat bracket itself. Then we can plug in both of our connectors. Just hear a little click. We'll make sure that these are on. That light is going to come on. We can tuck this underneath our seat, again, making sure that this is out of the way. So now that the box is on and there's power to our door sill guards, this is what you're gonna see when your door is open. Now this is obviously gonna have this strip down here. It's gonna have a fiber optic and a sequential effect to it. This is going to be your greeting when you're getting in and out of your Tacoma. Now, in order to turn that off, this is going to have a sensor and this is going to match up with a magnet. Now this is going to allow them to be turned off when your door is closed, and once the door is open, it's going to actuate the sensor with this magnet on the bottom of the door in order to give you this greeting and the lighting out of the door sill guard. So what we need to do at this point, I'm actually going to turn these off so we are not wasting any battery, but we do need to mount up our magnet on the bottom of our door. Now I'm going to use a piece of tape to measure out where this is, and then we can kind of play trial and error in order to get this lined up to make sure that it's lined up correctly, and then we can repeat that process on the other side. So in order to line this up, I'm going to use a piece of tape and I'm going to line it up with the small sticker that comes on the door sill right out of the box. This is just a marker to where the sensor actually is. So I'm just going to line this up with that and make sure that it's hanging out of the bottom of the door. And we can close up the door. And on this part of the door, I'm just going to add another piece of tape. Open it back up. And that'll show us where we need to install this on the bottom here. So as you can see, this piece of tape marks the center mark where our sensor is on our door sill. I'm going to fold this up to make sure that it's aligned with the bottom of our door. Then I'm going to take the magnet and we can pop that into place. Take this piece of tape off, then we can test out our door sill guard. So now that you've confirmed that the magnet lines up, what I'm going to do is take that soft pry tool and I'm just going to pull up this little sticker Get that off of there. And then we can repeat that same process in the back with our magnet. Then we can just peel off that sticker. And then once these are installed and working properly on this side, we can repeat the same process on the other side. So that's gonna wrap it up for my review and install. Make sure you like and subscribe for more videos and products just like this, and always keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.